All right, hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah, like my whiskey bang? Okay. Happy Money Mindset Monday. Listen, we're going to get started. I'm learning, they say your first is your worst. Welcome to episode 1 of Lunch Money with D. Let me just get this here. Okay, all right. Boom, bow. So, listen, you guys. Have you ever looked at your bank account, or you looked in your wallet, or you looked at your statement? You like, where is this money going? Because if you ever said that to yourself, this conversation is definitely going to be for you. Because sometimes it's not just about the bills, y'all. It's not just about the IRS coming to knock your, garnish door down. Hey, we need our money. Sometimes it's really about the hidden, and I mean hidden, financial taxes that nobody taught us about. So if you're with me, if you're in tune, if you're watching the replay, thank you guys for tuning in. We had to get a little, late start, but better late than never. So we just gonna jump right on into it. Happy Monday, you guys. Listen, why I decided to do this series called, we're calling it Lunch Money with D, right? Hold on one second. Let me just get my screen together. We're calling it Lunch Money with D because when I was in high school, even elementary school, middle school, I often would get, lunch money from my dad. My dad would give me a little $10. That's when it was a good week. He would give me $10 to go to lunch and, go to school with to buy lunch because we didn't get free lunch. So we had to pay. It's not like it is today. Like some schools, everybody eats and that's great. But some schools you still have to pay to eat. So he was giving my $10, and back in the day, back in the early 2000s, late 99s, okay, we could take that $10 and stretch it a long way. So I would take that $10, go get me a sausage, egg, and cheese in the morning. I would take, part of that $10 and get a lunch ticket from, the lunch ticket hustler of the lunchroom for that period, just so I can get lunch. I would use that tokens. Who remembers the tokens that we had to use on the Beeline bus? Yeah, I'm definitely showing my age right now. But I would take another $1 and go get a token so I could get home. I would get my 2 tokens a day so I can get home and get back. I'll get to school and get back home. I would take that money and I had something to do with it. And the point of it really wasn't the fact of getting the $10. It was the fact that I made the $10 stretch. I had choices. I didn't have to go spend that little $10 all in one place. But as a high schooler with no kids, no bills, that $10, that's $50 a week. You could come up with it. I know a couple opportunities you could take advantage of with $50, okay, and have it grow. All right. But that's why I wanted to do Lunch Money with D. I just wanted to give y'all a little lunch money. You know what I'm saying? A token, a lunch ticket, some cookies, a pack of sunflower seeds, something. You know what I mean? Listen, if I spent it right, y'all, I could get me a small oxtail with white rice. But that was back in the day, make oxtail prices great again, right? So, again, every weekday, I plan on coming on here, giving you guys mindset, giving you guys financial literacy. I'm going to be, giving you guys something to think about, something that you could actually apply to your day-to-day, okay? So for those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Deirdre, but you could call me D, all right? I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 5. I'm a business owner. I'm hailing out of Money Owner Mount Vernon, and I already, the title's right there. We're going to earn some money, okay? Again, I'm a business owner. And whether you're catching this live or the replay, just drop where you're from in the comments so I know who all is in the building. And I'm going to try and get better at this. I had to do a last minute, streaming situation just so I could get this to you guys. But I would love for you guys to drop in the comments because I will be responding to comments if I can't respond to them in real time. Okay, so today's topic, all right, because I want you guys to learn with me, not just me teaching stuff. I want you to learn with me, okay? If you ever had a money conversation that made you think differently about money, just drop a share right now. Just hit that share button and let the people that and love, you know, get this work at the same time. So again, why I started this live, because nobody's teaching us this stuff. Nobody's teaching us this stuff. And y'all already on your lunch break. You're already scrolling. You're already on your phone. You might as well get something that's going to benefit and grow and become productive. I'm going to get into that later. Okay. So today's topic is the 9 financial taxes that we are paying that just falling out. It's like a hole is in our pocket. A hole is in our account. It's like we let somebody get the password to our banking app. Like, this is how real the money is flowing out, and it's legal, and we don't even know, y'all. So I had to put y'all on, okay? I have 9 for y'all. We might not get through to all 9 because I'm trying to get in and get out. But in any event, we will do a part 2, okay? But let's get into it. The first tax number 1, that is silently, okay, ruining your paychecks. Okay, it's the inflation tax. Somebody drop inflation in the chat. If they're not teaching this, listen, I taught my 8-year-old daughter this. Inflation. Prices are going to continue to go up. Everything is going to go up. Your rent, the gas, the eggs is still going up. I didn't understand how the eggs was going up, and then all of a sudden the gas went up. But hey, it all the farmers is running it. Real talk, real key. But everything is going up except for our paychecks, right? Our paychecks are remaining very slow, very stagnant. Okay, Madam C.J. Walker, actually, she was one of the first people that I learned from as far as being a woman, Black entrepreneur. That if you continue to make money, you don't have to, like, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about inflation. And I don't believe it's Madam C.J. Walker. I'm going to get back to that because I don't want to give y'all the wrong information. I know for a fact that Myron Golden was the one. I don't know if you heard it because Uncle Myron be dropping them gems. He said that, you know, you probably heard the term live below your means, right? You're living below your means. Live below your means. If things getting too crazy, just live below your means. And that's good advice. I'm not going to say that that's not good advice. But let's be real. You can only cut back so much. Okay, you can only coupon your way into wealth, but so much. Okay, you can only, you know, cut back on housing. You can only cut back on so many groceries. You can only cut back on so many utilities and gas. Like, this is stuff that we need to live day to day. So it's like, what do? We can only cut back so much. So the conversation just can't be about spending less. Okay, it has to start to become, how are we going to earn more? Okay, and like I said, Uncle Myron Golden says it best. He said, when prices go up, that usually means somebody on the other end is getting paid. Somebody on the other end is getting paid, and then it's not me. I don't know about y'all, but I have a problem with that. So my lunch money gem for right now is, don't ask how much the prices are going up. Ask, how can I get my income up? How can I earn more money? How do I position myself to earn more money? Okay, because the solution is this: you just have to increase your income. Okay, and I know that bothers some people, but you have to increase your income. And I know why it bothers people. It's a trauma attached to it. You know, we only learn one way to make money, and that's with a job or a hustle. Okay, we only maybe 2. There's so many more ways to make money, you guys. It's so great. Listen, you can increase your income. All right, you can learn new ways to make money. Which looks kind of like a promotion. You get a promotion on your job. You know, you got the skills to pay the bills. Ask for that promotion. You could, like I said, have a side hustle, have a business. Those are just some examples of how you can earn more money. You could make your money work smarter. It's another solution. You know, stop letting your money just sit in a regular savings account. You got a savings account, it should be sitting in a high yield savings account, earning at least 3%. Okay, APY. I have a whole video on that. I have some content on that as well if you want. I'll definitely point you in the right direction so you can get your knowledge on that, because that's what we're here for, right? Another thing you can do is learn new income strategies. Learn how the getters are getting it. Okay, if you learn how the getters get it, then you're gonna get it, period. Because like I said, you cannot coupon your way out of inflation. It's just, I don't care what they're telling you. And if they're telling you that, stop listening to them. So my question to you guys would be, who in here feels like their paycheck is just getting smaller? But it's not getting smaller. Like you're spending less. You have less to spend, rather. but your paycheck is still the same as it was last 6 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years ago. Uh-oh. Let me not. Listen, we're going to go into the next tax, y'all, because it's 9 of them. And we only up to number 2. So let's get it. The next tax number 2 is the ignorance tax. Yes, they say ignorance is bliss. It is. And it's expensive as HE double hockey sticks, right? That looks like late fees, credit card mistakes. Ooh, big one. They don't teach you a lot of that because they're reaping the benefits off of your ignorance. They're getting paid. They're able to take their kids to these fancy colleges, and you are struggling to get your kid out of high school. You know what I mean? Things like that. And why do I bring that up? Because it's very interesting. I was bringing up Madam C.J. Walker, but I think this is where she actually needs to be placed, because Madam C.J. Walker was one of America's first female, self-made female millionaires, okay? And, she did it during a time where opportunities for Black women, it wasn't giving. So she made her own lane. That's what I love about her. And why do I bring that up? It's really because she understood that at the end of the day, knowledge creates opportunity. Okay? Knowledge creates opportunity. The more you know, the more you can do. And when you can do better, when you know better, you can do better, right? So that's why I say that ignorance tax is the most expensive tax, because you're going to pay for what you don't know. You're going to pay, and you're going to think it's regular. You're going to think it's normal. You're going to think that this is the way. And I'm telling y'all, it's not. Okay, so what's the solution for that? Listen, it's really simple. Because for one, I know financial education. That's why I'm here. I'm here right now being a solution, teaching and letting y'all know the plays and the strategies and the gems that are helping people get financially unstuck. Little by little, okay? I'm reading. Always read. Get a book. We don't even need books now. Everything is on our phone. There's literally no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally no excuse. Read something. Reading is fundamental. Listen to podcasts. My good friend of mine put me on to Earn Your Leisure podcast. Ton of information on there. Check them out. Learning from people who already have what you don't have and know what you don't already know. Like, clearly you got here. I want to follow your footsteps. I want to see what it is that you did to get you to this point, because that is something that I aspire in my life. Okay. And listen, if this is making sense to y'all really quick, somebody might need this. Somebody in your circle, on your algorithm, or your timeline might need this. So just hit share and just save it to your page. You don't need no caption. You don't need none of that. Just save it to your page. Love on somebody. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Minister Chaplain. Oh goodness. Hi, Mr. Lamont. That's Minister Lamont. How are you? Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you're listening from. So yes, the third tax that's really draining our pockets that we don't even know about is the convenience tax. Oh yes, I'm talking to me right now, so this is no judgment. Okay, I have 5 kids. I run a pretty tight household around here, so whenever I could get a little minute, something off of my task, maybe dinner, maybe I could get on Instacart and have the groceries come to me, or maybe I could just go on Amazon and have it 2-day shipped or whatever. It's convenience. Instead of running to the store, it's convenience. However, everything comes with a price. Everything comes with a cost. Okay, at the end of the day, all of those shortcuts are adding up. The fees, you already know DoorDash fee is crazy. They want you to get a Dash Pass for $10, and sometimes you don't even use the Dash Pass, but guess who got paid? Them. Okay, that's also part of that inflation tax as well, because I honestly feel like the DoorDash prices and the Uber Eats prices for the food is more than it is when you go to the actual restaurant, but I don't want to start no trouble. Just know that every convenience comes with a cost. Even around here, I live in Mount Vernon, New York. Like I said, you'll go to the bodega, you can get a 2-liter soda for like $4. But if you go to BJ's, you know what I mean? You can get the 4-pack of sodas for maybe $8, $9. So you're saving by getting in bulk. But there's little things like that, which goes back to that inflation solution I was talking about earlier. Just go back in the video if you want to tune into that, right? So which one gets you the most? Because like I said, I done told them myself, I was very transparent. DoorDash, Instacart, Amazon Prime. Listen, drop it below. Like I said, it's no judgment. I'm not here to judge nobody, but we got to know where the leak is at. You have a leak in your house. You're not just telling the plumber to go all up and through your house. You know where that leak is at. You're going to tell them to go and fix it. That's what we're doing. We're finding the leak. We can't turn our eyes no more. It's 2026. We cannot do the ignorant thing. And that's another tax, but we probably going to get into that into part 2. So like I said, the problem is not, that it's just a small inconvenience one time. It starts to add up. Little by little, you get one swipe here, a little swipe there, check out here, check out card there, and next thing you know, by the end of the day, all right, you don't even want to look at your bank account. I'm not judging. Me personally, I'm being transparent. Same situation with me, okay? So what you can do is you can plan ahead, all right? Plan your things ahead. Make a shopping list before you shop, okay? Eat before you shop. Then make your list. And then go to the grocery store, because sometimes, the cravings and the empty stomach will just have you throwing stuff in the cart. And then by the time you eat, because you're going to get home, you're not even going to cook none of that food anyway. That's another convenience tax. See how we catching them? You got to catch them. But that's the thing. Like, you don't want to go there with a hungry belly, because you don't want to just throw in randomly, impulsively, animalistically. I just want to eat. I just want that. And that looks good. And that smells good. Don't let them be sampling, having the little samples at BG. I love me some little samples, but don't let that make you go to the aisle and go buy it now, because you wasn't even thinking about that. You came here for one thing. That's why I stay at a Target, but that's a long story. What's another one? You could combine your errands, combine your trips. Gas is crazy. If you can walk somewhere, and this is on me, because I live right down the street from Family Dollar. I could walk to Family Dollar. But if I'm doing a whole bunch of other errands, I'm going to hit Family Dollar on the way. That's thinking strategically. You know what I mean? So you just want to use convenience intentionally, not automatically, not at the first impulse. You feel what I'm saying? So let me leave y'all with this. Convenience should save you time and not quietly drain your wallet while you're trying to save your money. Okay. Minister Chaplin, you watch it from the Bronx. Okay, listen, because you must have some frequent flyer miles, because I could have sworn you were in California. But listen, you guys, I'm so appreciative of you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Definitely make sure you are sharing this chat, because somebody needs this. I promise you, I needed it. I'm just going to pay it forward. So, as I said, that is tax number 3. Now we get into tax number 4, because, once you have to keep spending for convenience, after a while, it's going to lead you to have to borrow to keep up. You're going to have to borrow money to keep up. Credit cards. Buy now, pay later. Klarna Queens and Kings. Okay? That should be no reason why we're paying for DoorDash, a burger. They got Klarna or Afterpay. One of them is on DoorDash. Why am I paying this one meal today for another month? I'm just saying, just think about it. Okay? Personal loans that you have to now take out because you can't afford your bills. Okay? This leads to tax number 4, like I said, which is debt, right? Tax number 4 is debt. And one thing this morning, I was actually on the Good Morning Millionaire call with my mentor, Haziq Ali, and he literally put it down so flat, it was crazy. He said, all debt is not created equal. All debt is not created equal, okay? There is productive debt and there's unproductive debt. Now, productive debt is a debt that's helping you build something, okay? It's a debt that's helping you build something. Unproductive debt keeps taking from you, and it takes from you without helping you grow. So things like minimum payments that y'all paying on them credit cards, please get away from the minimum payments. The interest is crazy, okay? Carrying balances month to month. I told y'all about that statement date. I have a video on my page about statement dates. You do not want to keep carrying that high balance every month on your credit card. You're paying them. You're not even paying on your balance. You're not paying on your principal. You're just paying them. Get them done. Get them out of there, okay? Tax on future income. Like I said, you paying a burger today, you're paying for it a month later, and they direct deposited it out. Child, I couldn't take it anymore. I could not take it. So this was my line of questioning. Is this debt actually helping me build? Or is it building a liability? Is it creating another bill? Because now it's like you got the loan for the emergency, but now the emergency is you got to pay this loan off because it's tearing your credit up. And if it's tearing up your credit, it's tearing up your leverage. And if it's tearing up your leverage, it's tearing up your legacy again. Another time, because we're going to get you up out of here in just a second because we are on the last one. But listen, the solution to the debt, the unproductive debt, to make it productive, okay? You have to start borrowing with a purpose, y'all. This impulse thing, this microwave society where we have to have it now, this instant gratification. Yes, I love you, Carisha, but spend that. You are going to send us to the poorhouse, in our graves. Like we're not even going to be buried because we ain't going to have no money. You're not talking about life insurance. You're not talking about credit. You're not talking about business. You're not talking about home ownership, but you got to go spend that and go get your Goyard back. Like, girl, I hear you. You cute and all that, but the message fell flat for me. Fell very flat. And I got a video about it. I think I should post it for real today. I posted it in my stories. Drop some fire if you saw my Spend That remix in my story this weekend. That was cute. It was funny. But so yeah, you want to borrow with a purpose. Think to yourself, if I'm borrowing money to build something that can actually put money back in my pocket, that's borrowing with a purpose. Okay, you don't want to finance your needs. Stop financing your needs. Just because they let us do something doesn't mean that we should do something. Just because Klarna tells you could pay for that burger in 4 equal payments, do not do it. Okay? Guess what you could do? Even better. Go in that fridge. Make something. Okay? That's the mom and me talking. You want to build your emergency savings. Okay? You want to have a nest egg, somewhere to where, God forbid, you have an emergency. You're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're not going, into your next month's expenses. Because, if you already live in check to check, you only one check away from an emergency. So you need to have an emergency savings set up. Like I said, high yield savings is going to actually help you grow your emergency savings. So if you're going to do that, and when you do that, because you're talking to me now, I'm not letting y'all lack at all. When you get your high yield savings account, that is when you want to start your emergency fund. So why not? Emergency fund that's going to pay me to have it? Come on now. And last but not least, you want to use debt strategically, not emotionally. Like I said, do not make long-term payments based on a short-term immediate feeling. All right. Productive debt builds, unproductive debt takes. Okay. So one thought I would leave you with, if you've ever bought something and you can't even tell where it is right now, just drop a 1 in the comments. Because I know it's not only me. I could turn around and look around in this room and see the things that I have not bought, that I spent money on. They're not here. They're not here. They're not here because they were short-term, emotional purpose. We got to tighten up. We really do. So listen, you guys, that's exactly why debt can become a tax on your future, right? We still got 5 left. I think I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow, like I said, because I don't want to take up too much of the time. It's lunch. I do want y'all to eat. I hope y'all tuned in. We got 5 more left. Like I said, we have the opportunity tax. We have the status tax. Ooh, that's a big one. Impulse tax, which kind of ties into the debt tax that we just talked about. Comfort as well, and neglect. Because we gonna knock these barriers down because wealth is within us. Okay, God wants abundance for us. You think we just have these dreams just to be having them? You think the devil puts that in it? No, that ain't nothing but God. But we have to use our free will and nourish that. We have to think strategically. We have to move strategically. We have to learn, okay? We have to open our eyes. So I'm so thankful for you guys for tuning into this live today. Like I said, we're going to do part 2 tomorrow. I'll be here probably around the same time, but I will post a flyer. Hopefully I get all the technical kinks out. But before I leave, remember, just think about today's 4 taxes that you learned about. You're not going to learn this from the tax school. I'm telling you, okay? It's inflation. Number 1. Number 2, ignorance. Number 3, convenience. And number 4 is debt. Okay, so you want to make sure you're answering those questions as far as it relates to that. Which one is costing me the most? Which one is costing me the most? And listen, no takers or money makers. I hope you replay this and write it down and answer that question for real, because again, we have to have awareness. We have to know where to start so we can know where we're going, right? So lunch money for today, guys. Be intentional, be purposeful. Don't just do things to be doing things. Stop yourself, think about it, sleep on it for 24. You know, just give yourself a moment before you just start swiping and hitting add to cart. Okay, because most of the stuff, it's just draining your pockets. All right, money is going to disappear where you don't direct it, right? So, you know, like I said, pay attention to your money, pay attention to the information around you, and the decisions that you're making, because that is the small choices that are leading up to, you know, repeated consistency. And you could either repeat it wrong or you could repeat it right, but you're going to repeat it. So again, be intentional. All right. And like I said, my dad gave me a little $10, you know, and what I did with it was on me. However, you know, the goal wasn't about getting it. The goal was more about making it stretch. So that is my time, you guys. Remember today's lunch money, be intentional. Share this with somebody that you love, okay? Each one, reach one, teach one. That's my motto. Y'all already know. Same lunch table tomorrow. Same conversation. We're going to get to them 5 through 9s. So come with a pen and a pad. Until then, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Spend wisely. Take care.